Well, I'm going to talk about this. It's not a pump and dump. It's reality, man. I don't like the pump and dumpers and the freaking snake oil salesmen on YouTube. There's a lot of them, man. And I ain't one of them. I say sometimes I stick more with mainstream. That's where I get my information from. That doesn't mean I totally agree with them. But you'll be surprised if you really look into mainstream what some individuals say. Anyway, Societe Generale. We talked about the pullback in the commodities recently, and it seemed kind of crazy because silver was already down to like 27, 28, and they're talking can go lower, and in fact it did. Now, what they're talking about is gold to over $10,000 an ounce, and the equities markets to totally tank. You got that right, major media. Major big financial guys, Societe Generale, right? Albert Edwards. And think about this too. Because I'm not playing a game here where I'm trying to pump and dump the metals. I'm not playing that game. Giving you a straight scoop. And I don't like working with a lot of professional dorks like in the financial world because they disagree with me on the metals. I'm more bullish on the metals, and I think those paper pushing yo-yos are going to get buried, which is fine with me. Anyway, this is from Albert Edwards, Societe Generale. He goes on to say gold will top $10,000 per ounce, the stock market will tank, and treasuries will yield less than 1%. Now you can see what's going on with Japan too. Everybody in the world is going to be playing the same policy with super low interest rates, devaluing their currency, trying to raise exports, and that type of stuff. They're going to all compete with each other. So that was from Albert Edwards, Societe Generale's forecast. He goes, in his working experience of the last 30 years, has convinced me that policymakers' efforts to manage the economic cycle have actually made things far more volatile. The current round of quantitative easing will be no different. Now, am I coming from you like a pump and dump thing? No, because this is pure common sense. This is right there on the wall. Paper pushing dorks won't see it. Devils will. It's only for the elite. Gold and silver are for the elite. That's why I look at it. I like making the right moves, not the wrong moves. And a lot of times, right now, you're going to get a lot of naysayers looking at it like, oh, that's bullshit. You know what? When it goes around the other way, no mercy. Gold corrected to 47% from 1974 to 76. Remember those years, 74 to 76. It went back 47%. It went to practically half its value before rising to more than 8 times to $887 an ounce in very, very early 1980. Basically the end of 79, very early 80. A steep correction is normal before a parabolic move. This is coming from Societe Generale. It's not coming from, the usual silver pump. They don't even look at this stuff. They're all looking at each other's conspiracies and lizards and stuff, That's what these other freaking pump and dumpers do. They don't even look at that. They read each other's blogs. That's really what they don't even bother with the major media, except to find a conspiracy in it someplace. It's not really a conspiracy. These guys are fucking idiots, okay? They're pencil-pushing dorks. They don't know how to fix the economy. They don't know how to shovel silver either. They don't know how to do anything. That's all they are. But think about it. Gold corrected down almost half, right? In 74 to 76, say 75. About 4 years later, really, because it was the end of 79, is when it really had this super high parabolic move. Now figure out. We're in 2013. What have I been saying? That the peak for the peak for the commodities will be about 2017. Right? It's about 4 years later, right? 4 years later for next gold correction, 75 to the end of 79. It's about right. It's probably going to come, it's going to start, actually you're probably going to see some things heating up in 2014, and even this year it's going to recover good. It's not going to be high though. It's just going to recover gold and silver somewhat. It'll recover this year. Depends on what even goes on with the Middle East. Like I said, wag the dog. Obama's in so much hot water, I think it's going to be as smart politically for him to go to war. But this is coming right from Societe Generale. The guys that told you about the commodities possibly tanking, silver and gold, now they're saying the other way around. And that's not a long wait. You see where I think Jim Rogers is throwing you a curveball. He says, yeah, it'll be good for the next 10 years. No. I think 2017 is going to be it. That's going to probably be the height of the parabolic move, and nobody's going to get everything exactly right at the height. You want to sell in steps. Major media is telling you, responsible major media, and you think about it, isn't that the exact pattern that happened before in the 70s? Isn't that exactly what happened? Is that not typical of what happens even before a lot of parabolic moves when all the fundamentals are there? They have this pullback, right? And it's just like I said, maybe, I could throw all kinds of examples and analogies out there for the people that are really bullish on gold about the tide. The water runs out, then all of a sudden the tidal wave comes in. People are trying to pick up fish on where the water has been pulled out, so they're in the markets right now. Maybe they're going to get drenched, who knows? But I'm not trying to just, ad lib a sales spiel here, because I'm not a bullion dealer. I'm not none of this stuff. I'm on YouTube doing a video, right? I could do a video on anything I want. Actually, these type of videos, it's probably better if I was actually to try to do money on YouTube. It would be more entertainment or something like how to fix something. It wouldn't even be something like this, because financial videos are actually very short-lived. So why am I telling you this? Hey, I'm a good guy. What the hell could I say, man? I'm pretty honest. That's really what it is. A lot of people just don't believe that, but that's exactly what it is. Stick with it. And I think the people that actually stick with the metals are more real people, and they ought to reap the benefits of making a smart move. But you don't have to be 100% into metals. That's the other thing. Stay with real goods too. But this is coming right from the major financial sector, and it makes perfect sense. What happened with gold back in the 70s? Look, in 75 it pulled back almost 50%. 4 years later, at the end of 1979, it went up over 8 times. And not to mention palladium. Palladium might actually catch up to gold and actually get to $8,000 to $10,000 an ounce. It could. So, I feel very confident about where I'm at. So I think the people that stuck it out, stay with it. And you got solid reason to believe so. So I want you to get some confidence there and not worry about it. Because I really ain't. I ain't worried about this shit. Not at all. I just can't wait for it to happen because I want to shove it in some other people's faces too. I'm probably not even thinking about it, but I'd like to shove it in some people's faces. Because I don't like the paper crowd, to tell you the truth. Real is the way to go. So, metals is the way to go. It's not going to be forever though. See, when this thing peaks out, I think in 2017, when Jim Rogers is telling you it's good for 10 years, it means 2024. I'll bet you not. I'll bet you not. I think he's throwing you a curveball when he's saying that shit. It's not going to be that long. This is really the pattern of the 70s. And we're getting ready for a hyperbolic curve, but most of that hyperbolic curve is going to probably come 2016, 2017. Right? At the very end of the Obama administration, and then when the next guy takes over, he'll just blame it on Obama. Same old shit.